While there's no defense for most of America's elite universities' handling, or rather mishandling, of anti-Semitism under the guise of free speech, universities like Harvard and Cornell are extraordinary research institutions. And Robert Sapolsky, who graduated Harvard and presently teaches at Stanford, he published a book which throws a wrench in the traditional High Holy Day understanding of teshuvah, our so-called free will to change our ways for whatever lies ahead in the new year we've just begun. Sapolsky is a neuroscientist, and he details all the variables that you and I have little or no control over on any given day. We cannot decide all the sensory stimuli in our environment. We could not decide our hormone levels this morning. Looking back on our lives, none of us were able to decide whether something traumatic happened to us in the past. We didn't choose the socioeconomic status of our parents, our fetal environment. We didn't choose our genes or whether our ancestors hundreds and hundreds of years ago were farmers or herders. Sapolsky's claim, stated broadly, is this: we are nothing more or less than the cumulative biological and environmental luck over which we had no control that has brought us to any moment. Now, his goal, the book is called Determined. His goal is not to convince you that there's no free will, just that there's much less free will than you think or thought you had. For instance, imagine a May University graduation ceremony from high school or college or graduate school. It's almost always moving, right? Despite the platitudes, the happiness, the pride, the families, the generations whose sacrifices now all seem worth it. The graduates who were the first in their family to finish college, the ones whose maybe immigrant parents sit there glowing their saris, their dashikis, broadcasting that their pride in the present isn't at the cost of pride in their past. And then you notice someone amid the family clusters after the ceremony, and everybody takes the pictures, the new grads posing for pictures with grandma in her wheelchair who made it, the burst of hugs and laughter. You see this person way in the back, the person, let's say, who's part of the grounds crew, collecting the garbage from the cans on the perimeter of the event. Randomly pick any of the graduates. Do some magic so that this garbage collector started life with that graduate's genes. Likewise, forgetting the womb in which 9 months were spent and the lifelong epigenetic consequences of that. Get that graduate's childhood as well. The childhood filled with, say, piano lessons, family game nights, Shabbat dinners, instead of, say, threats going to bed hungry, becoming homeless, or being deported for lack of papers. Let's go all the way so that in addition to the garbage collector having gotten all that of this graduate's, the graduate would have gotten the garbage collector's past. Trade every factor over which they had no control, and you will switch who would be in the graduation robe and who would be hauling garbage cans. This is what Professor Sapolsky means by determinism. And why does this matter? Because we all know that the garbage collector and the graduate would switch places if they could. And because, nevertheless, we rarely reflect on that sort of fact. We congratulate the graduate on all she's accomplished, and we move out of the way of the garbage guy without even thinking about the background of the picture. So before I close, what's the rebuttal to Sapolsky? Yes, to having less free will or even controlling the unexpected blows that will affect our families, our jobs, and our health. We chanted with Happy and Deb yesterday, who shall live and who shall die, right? But we know that teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah can change things. For all of us who are praying for Israel to fend off Iran, even when Israel prevails, and she must, random Israelis will be wounded and traumatized. They already are. So we cannot control the genes we inherited, the socioeconomic blessings of the college graduate over the immigrant garbage guy. But the high holidays we're in contend that we can still control how we live with the unexpected blows and genetics we have inherited. As Rabbi David Teutsch, who's the president of the Reconstructionist movement, expresses in our Machzor, the 10-pounder we're about to hold on Friday night. Through teshuvah, cultivating a spiritual life and returning to the values of Judaism and Torah. Through tefillah, cultivating gratitude and connecting with community. And through tzedakah, cultivating generosity and pursuing justice. We can still mitigate what life throws our way and choose how we respond to whatever life has already given us or what's going to come to us in the new year. Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah will not stop stock market crashes, cancer, or other blows that come our way. But they can radically transform how we are affected by those blows. Our lives are not completely determined, Professor Sapolsky, even if they're more determined than we thought. May each of us choose life, find joy, and be blessed with a sweet new year by doing what Shabbat's supposed to do, getting our souls back, S-O-U-L ourselves, by raising our spirits, lifting ourselves up, lifting each other up. Ken Yehi Ratzon, so may it be for all of us. Amen.